Man, you already know what it is and what it do, man. I'm coming back again with a reaction video, man. This reaction video, man, I'm bringing you back to Oakland, California. You dig what I'm saying? Where a young football star, man, turned that down, man, and went straight to the streets, went straight banging, gun slanging. You feel what I'm saying? He had to make a mark on his block. You feel me? He had to be known that he in town, he here to stay. You feel what I'm saying, man? Hey, shit be crazy, shit be outrageous. You feel what I'm saying? But hey. I guess that's how I went back in them days, man. You feel me? Hey, it was more money in the streets than playing football, baseball, basketball. Hey, I know nowadays you drop out of school, motherfucker call you all type of lummies and dummies and stuff. But this shit back in the days, they was dropping out. It was man, I'm talking about from singers to football players, baseball. I'm talking about they all dropping out to go get some of that made on, man. That's how much money was out there in them streets, man. When that cocaine hit, man, that shit turned the world around. That shit. Phew, that shit took over, man. It changed a lot of things around the world. How the world is today is because of that shit right there that hit the streets, man. That shit was deadly crazy. It made people hurt people, do shit to people. But hey, man, I ain't gonna hold y'all for too long, man. If you ain't subscribed to my channel, subscribe to my channel, man. If you already is, I appreciate you, man. Make sure you hit them likes, subscribe, comments, hit them notification bells for your boy. Turn me up, you dig what I'm saying? I appreciate it. And before I hit you with this video, just hit this intro. Let's get it. Ready or not? Ready or not? Here I come. Can't hide. Gonna find you and then yo. I play like the leaves like a game of chess where I rest. No stress.
Bells inside Franklin Elementary School suddenly came alive. Teachers locked their classroom doors and shut off the lights. Outside, 2 carloads of gunmen were flying down Foothill Boulevard, trading bullets with semi-automatic pistols, shotguns, and rifles. The shooting allegedly started several blocks away, but the speeding cars carried the battle directly towards Franklin. The gunmen stopped near the school, and when the door swung open, for 90 seconds, gunfire ripped through the schoolyard. Bullets struck classroom windows, causing students to drop to the floor. The principal ordered the school locked down while wounded men staggered through the neighborhood, leaving trails of blood behind them. Police later connected the shootout to 2 rival East Oakland organizations. One was simply known as the Family. The other was Funktown USA. And according to law enforcement, the man sitting at the center of Funktown's growing power was a former Oakland high school football star named Harvey Whisenton. Whisenton grew up as one of 13 children, attending Oakland High School, where his size at 6'5" and speed made him stand out. He was a talented athlete who was named to the All-City team. As a teenager, Harvey had something many young men around him didn't: a visible road leading somewhere beyond the flatlands of East Oakland. But the neighborhood surrounding him was changing. By the late 70s, Oakland's heroin economy had grown into a highly organized underground business. Corners, apartment buildings, housing projects, and entire blocks became valuable pieces of territory. But somewhere between the Friday night lights at Oakland High and the bullets flying past Franklin Elementary, Harvey Whisenton's future changed directions. Harvey Whisenton stepped into Oakland's bustling drug economy after linking with Mickey Moore, a former R&B singer now turned to one of the city's leading narcotic figures and head of the Family organization. Whisenton worked as a street dealer for the Family, learning the ins and outs of the operation for Moore. He spent a brief stint in jail in 1980 after a drug possession conviction. Afterwards, he was placed on probation.
Crazy thing about it, man, is a singer, lead singer, and a professional football star that was going to be a professional football star. He was on his way. You feel me? He put the ball down, he put the mic down, hit the streets just to go to war, to fight for a turf. That should be crazy, man. That's how much money was out there for them to quit to be a star, a singer. You know what I'm saying, that if eventually you must, if you that good in it, you must love what you was doing, or you practice, you know what I'm saying, because you won't put that much effort to be good if you didn't like this shit. But let's get back into it.
To perform community service. At the time, Harvey's name hadn't yet become synonymous with being a kingpin, but that transformation would come in 1982 when Harvey was split from the Family. Though accounts are different, the reason for the split is alleged to be from a rivalry between Harvey and Moore as Harvey looked to gain more power. The other allegation is that Harvey and Moore's lieutenant, Andrew Drew Piazza, had a dispute over Piazza trying to holler at Harvey's girlfriend. When Harvey went to confront Piazza, it's alleged he was beaten with a tire iron by Piazza, who was backed by several of Moore's men. A week later, Harvey was shot in the back by Piazza. Not long after, Piazza was jailed for an unrelated heroin charge, but his actions changed the structure of Oakland's underworld forever. Harvey split from the family, taking his knowledge, connections, and his desire for revenge with him, forming Funktown USA.
Ooh.
Funktown's original base was centered around lower 11th and 13th Avenues, near Foothill Boulevard, but spread out over time into 79th Avenue and MacArthur Boulevard, as well as 99th Avenue and Plymouth Street and other areas. By the end of 1984, it's estimated Funktown's membership ranged from roughly 40 to 100 people, although the number of active core members may have been smaller. Harvey presented himself as a businessman who owned an East Oakland auto body shop and other small ventures. He complained that police harassed him and wrongly blamed him for the actions of relatives and other neighborhood associates, noting the lack of serious cases against him. But to police, they looked at Harvey as someone who had gone from Mickey Moore's apprentice to Moore's most dangerous competitor. And because the break had been personal before it became financial, the rivalry carried more than the usual hunger for money. The family had survived this war with Felix Mitchell. Now Mickey Moore had another war coming, but this time, the enemy had learned the business from inside his own organization. To understand why the...
Damn, the crazy thing about that too, man, it's cold, man, because when you have to go against the one you had under your wing the whole time, now he split up, go and do his own thing. He know everything, man. Y'all know each other from the up to the downs, man. That should be crazy, man. Now all that shit y'all grew up, learned with each other. Now that shit didn't mean nothing because now y'all finna be all ready to kill each other, man. Ooh, shit crazy, man. Let's get back into it.
Spread so quickly, you have to understand the amount of money sitting on Oakland streets. In 1984, Oakland's population was roughly 350,000, and the number of heroin users somewhere between 15,000 and 20,000. Investigators estimated that a heavy user could spend at least $50 every day. At an estimated $50 per day per user, the city's heroin economy potentially generated hundreds of millions of dollars annually.
Small ass
Oakland
Oakland
expansion didn't simply mean
make
opening
that much
a new
money.
location. It meant taking money out of someone else's pockets. Law enforcement officials would place Funktown alongside the 69 mob, and the family is one of the major organizations that helped drive Oakland's homicide crisis during the late 70s and 80s. But outside their circles, ordinary families were living inside the consequences. And in 1983, those consequences followed Mickey Moore to a funeral. On September 14, 1983, approximately 200 people gathered at Oakland Center of Hope for the funeral of 19-year-old Luther Joe Perry. Perry had been shot to death 5 days earlier, and after the service, a smaller group of roughly 20 mourners returned to a house in the 2200 block of 25th Avenue. As they gathered on the front lawn, a blue Cadillac with Texas license plates pulled up. Witnesses said an argument started between the occupants and people standing outside. Seconds later, gunfire erupted, and when it stopped, two young men, Christopher Williams, age 20, and Clarence Johnson, age 18, lay mortally wounded. Both men died after being taken to Highland Hospital. Milton Mickey Moore was shot in the thigh during the chaos. Later ballistic testing suggested that Johnson had fired the bullets that killed Williams, and that Williams may have shot Johnson, and in the midst of it all, Moore was hit. Rumors spread that the shooting was connected to the war between the family and Funktown, alleging that Funktown shooters had opened fire on family associates. A few weeks later, on October 7th, gunmen shot up Mickey Moore's Oakland home, narrowly missing his dirt. Then, the feud had clearly moved beyond Harvey and Mickey, with funerals only producing new feuds.
Man, it was serious. I'm talking about coming to the fools' places where they lay their head with their family members. That shit was serious.
Then only 5 months later came the shooting at Franklin Elementary School. One of the men later associated with the incidents was Anderson Samaji Thurston, whom police described as a Funktown enforcer. Later arrested in 1984 on bank robbery charges, Thurston wrote a letter while incarcerated that was recovered by authorities. The letter appeared to describe more than 20 people allegedly involved in moving Harvey's dope around East Oakland, in safe houses where weapons and drugs were stored.
He was dry
It's believed that Thurston wrote the letter to Mickey Moore while attempting to leave Funktown and join the family, after Harvey had allegedly refused to pay bail money after Thurston's arrest.
Damn.
Prosecutors described the letter as an intelligence summary rather than a confession that solved every open case.
Yeah, basically.
The conflict on the street continued. In July 1985, Gregory Hassan Colbert had recently been released from prison. Colbert was described as a former lieutenant in Mickey Moore's family organization. It's alleged Funktown gunmen opened fire on him near 98th Avenue and Eads Avenue in East Oakland, not knowing Colbert was wearing a bulletproof vest. He survived the shooting but refused to press charges.
Fresh
Then,
out.
however, federal investigators had begun examining Funktown from another direction. No longer relying on witnesses in order to solve every shooting, they began building a narcotics case, and police also alleged that Harvey's organization had developed a relationship with an even more intimidating force, the Black Guerrilla Family Prison Gang. Harvey had formed an association with members of the Black Guerrilla Family, also known as BGF, who allegedly helped transport narcotics and provide outside enforcement over Oakland's territories. The federal investigation intensified in April 1985. By now, police described Whisenton as Oakland's newly crowned street king. Felix Mitchell was now facing life in federal prison, and Mickey Moore's family had been weakened by arrest and years of violence leading to Funktown's expansion into territories abandoned by older organizations. But pinning anything on Harvey remained difficult, as his auto body shop provided a legitimate face, even though investigators believed narcotics were being run through the business. But by the spring of 1985, an undercover federal agent had begun entering the world behind the body shop doors. Between April 12th and September 10th, 1985, the female agent completed 9 controlled purchases involving cocaine and heroin, with most of the deals occurring at the Marin Way auto body business. On October 4th, 1985, the operation moved from surveillance to arrest. Whisenton reportedly left the shop while trying to locate cocaine for another transaction. Police followed him through the air with a helicopter, and when he returned to the body shop around 12:30 in the afternoon, officers were waiting. Prosecutors charged Whisenton with 2 conspiracy counts, 4 counts involving cocaine distribution and 3 involving heroin distribution. He eventually pled guilty in connection with approximately $80,000 worth of cocaine and heroin sold to undercover agents. When given an opportunity to address the court, Whisenton stated, "My mouth got me here, I ain't saying nothing." Harvey was subsequently sentenced to 17 years in federal prison.
Man, that shit be crazy, man. Like, I know they had they fun, and they was doing their thing, but they run was short in a motherfucker. Like, it wasn't that long, you feel me? They got, because a lot of them, well, Felix, I think he gave him life, I believe. But then Lil Deep, 20, I believe. Then him, 17. The other guy got killed when he came. I forgot his name, the other one I did. But that shit be crazy, and then it always be like, oh boy, man, he wrote that letter. But the whole time, in my eyes, he drives, like, he probably was trying to drive, he probably was tell him the other clique, but at the same time, he still, come on, man. They know 5-0. Even back in the times, I know they knew about 5-0 reading them letters, man, especially when they know you in a high dread gang, you feel what I'm saying? I know for sure they was interception or recording this, you know what I'm saying, to see if you gonna tell on yourself, you feel me? And that's basically what he did. So that's it. He basically just gave the police information instead of his enemy, you feel me? But I don't even know why would he want to, you know what I'm saying, leave him in there. Probably because he probably like, we don't do that, we don't rob banks, we get money, we hustle, we sell this heroin. You out there robbing them banks, I ain't finna bail you out on no stupid. That's probably what happened. And he like, fuck it, I'm just gonna infiltrate on your ass. And that shit didn't work out. It didn't pan out right, you feel what I'm saying? But damn, it's like it was a football player, you know what I'm saying, and he was a lead singer, you know what I'm saying? And they was connected though. Like, he was under the singer guy though, you feel what I'm saying, Mickey Moore. And then his family ended up doing something to him, you feel me? and made him want to do it, you know what I'm saying, because he was smart, you know what I'm saying, got the knowledge and everything, got the game, and he ended up saying, fuck it, I'm just finna go down here and run this shit. And the knowledge he learned, you feel me, he fucked around and had built his own little empire. That was crazy, you feel me, and then that's crazy, you end up turning around because they shot him in the back, so he ended up turning around, had to default with these fools, and it's like, bro, once dead bodies start dropping, it's ugly, man. 5-0 coming knocking at your door. And plus, and when you for sure got so much quantity of drugs, they coming knocking at your door. They don't want you to be bigger than what you're supposed to be. You feel what I'm saying? They put that shit, they flooded that shit out here, man, and the whole time they didn't even know that shit fucked up the city. You feel me? They let that shit out here and look what it did, man. It turned the whole world around. You feel me? And this shit, look at it now. It's all dried up and shit because of that shit, man. Motherfuckers still fucked up. Babies grew up fuck. It was like crazy shit, man. But hey, man, I ain't gonna sit here and preach to y'all, man. Just want to give y'all my opinion on the situation, man. If you have an opinion, you have a comment, man, leave it down low for your boy, man. Let me know. Talk to me. I'll talk back. You feel what I'm saying? Like I say, if you ain't subscribe to the channel, man. If you already is, appreciate you. And all my newcomers, appreciate you supporting the content, bro. You dig what I'm saying? Really, really do, man. You know what I'm saying? And like I always say, be mindful, be safe, be smart, and don't be stupid. Until the next one. Peace.